Try this again. Hello, and welcome back to Foos Entertainment for my third review of the day. This time it will be for Insidious Chapter 3. Now earlier I was actually prepared to pick on this movie, but I actually sat down and watched it. A couple reasons I didn't remember the film that much. I only saw it like once or twice and I passed judgment. Seems like I passed judgment too early because this is not a terrible movie. My views from thinking it's terrible have now transformed into neutral. I don't love the movie, but I definitely do not hate this movie anymore. It's actually watchable. Well, the premise of the movie is pretty much this. A grieving teenager who just recently lost her mom wants to reach out to her from beyond the grave and tries to basically enlist the help of Elise, played by Lynn Shay from the previous Insidious films, to help her do so. Well, Elise is reluctant to use her psychic abilities because of pretty much the past events that relate to the first two films in which she helped Josh with his astral projection problems. With the backstory of the first two movies, that serial killer used, I guess, a nod to Norman Bates. That's how I look at the force that possessed Josh in the second movie. When we actually look at the backstory of that character, he is pretty much a old man. He would dress up like a woman and kill people. But that entity said, "One day I'm going to kill you." And every single time that she tries to do psychic phenomena, that entity gets closer and closer to achieving their goal, or as I say, his goal of killing her. So that's why she's reluctant at first. But then it just keeps eating at her. And so she goes ahead and helps. Once paranormal, mysterious things happen to this teenager that end up resulting in her getting ran over by a car and very, very seriously damaged and hurt. Literally half of her body pretty much fractured and broken. And so she goes into the further using her astral projection and tries to find whatever is trying to possess this teenager. Like I said, I guess at this point in time we don't know that it's trying to possess a teenager, but we, she goes in to try to help. Then, well, the evil entity that wants to harm her almost kills her by choking her out, just like he eventually does while possessing the physical body of Josh at the end of the first film. Almost succeeds too. She survives, and then she walks away. Then, for a little bit of influence from one of her colleagues, matter of fact, her colleague that actually assists everybody after her death in the second movie, convinces her otherwise. While all that's going on, the teenage woman's younger brother convinces their dad to enlist the help of course, our two amateur paranormal investigators that we saw in the first two movies, the comic relief. You know, those guys with all the little tools and electronics and all that stuff. And that's when they come in. Once they get over their head and figure out this is actually real, not make believe, Elise arrives just in time to save the day. And then she helps, and she goes into the further, and she battles it out with this demon, who literally is dead bent on taking souls to the fur. Doesn't crave to go ahead and take over a living body, just wants to kill the living and enslave them pretty much in this astral projective further universe. And there's another way to look at it, I guess. Interesting term I made that there. But yeah. And of course what they call this demon is the man you can't breathe, because he and what he actually looks a lot like is Dr. Satan from The Devil's Rejects. Looks a lot like Dr. Satan from The Devil's Rejects. It makes you wonder if they actually used Dr. Satan from The Devil's Rejects for this monster in this particular movie. It's definitely hard to tell. It looks very similar. And then of course that leads to everything being good, and she hooks up with the two amateurs, and that's when they hook up, and obviously leads to their films. But yeah, I was really ready to just bash the fuck out of this movie. And I can't. I can't bash it because I actually sat down and watched this movie, because like I said, whether I not like the movie or not, I will literally sit down and watch the movie because I respect you, the viewer. So I will literally sit down and watch the movie. That's the way I am. So, that's pretty much the story. Let's go into audio and video quality. This is where it falls short. This film still does have a lot of cool color temperatures and stuff like that, like the first two. It still is a 240 by 1 wide frame, like the first two. This is what the problem is. Because E1 Entertainment was involved dramatically in the third and fourth Insidious films, unlike the second one, which they were just barely involved. This don't look like a movie. It looks like a televised TV movie. That's part of the fucking problem with this movie, is it looks like a televised movie. And that's a little bit annoying. In the DTS HD Master Audio track, I would say this one is more neutralized than the first two movies. It definitely doesn't have any sequences at all anywhere in the movie to where it feels at all like it goes here to the right or the left. It's very balanced the entire time, but it also has a big neutral thing about it. Giving you a DTS HD Master Audio track that you might, proceed with, a season of Supernatural on Blu-ray or something. That said, it's still a theatrical experience. It's just not as much of a theatrical experience as the first two movies. But that's not enough to hate the movie. Like I said before, and I'll say again, you have to have a lot of reasons for me to hate a movie, to the point where I just put it down. So this does get a pass. I wasn't planning on giving it a pass, but that's why I'm watching these movies before I review them. I know some people will cheat and not, but I don't cheat. I will literally watch the movie and then review it. So that's my opinion on Insidious Chapter 3. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys already figured it out, but Insidious Chapter 3 does take place about 10 years before the events of Insidious 1 and 2. But I'm pretty sure you already figured that one out. But that's my view on Insidious Chapter 3. Did you like Insidious Chapter 3? Did you not? Like this video? Do you not like this video? Let me know. As always, subscribe. Check on me from time to time. I will see you next time for my review of Insidious: The Last Key, and we'll see if that one actually gets a pass or not. I'm thinking that one probably won't. But like I said, I didn't think this would, so we'll find out. See you next time.